And late today I spoke with Max Fehring. He's the Mayor of Gannawarra Shire, which includes Kerang and several other flood-affected communities. Max Fehring, when we hear that 1,000 residents of Kerang have registered at the local evacuation centre and many more are seeking other places to rest their head, what does this tell us about the size of the threat facing this community?
Well, to put it bluntly, we're in uncharted waters. It's perhaps a wrong choice of words, but I think it tells the story in one way. That's where we have reached record flood levels. We're still unsure of the behaviour of that water, and that's what's causing us a concern. But each hour goes by, we're getting a greater understanding of that, and we feel a little bit more confident about some things. But we are very worried about what the water's going to do below Kerang, where there's a huge agricultural communities, and heading towards Murrabit East, Benjaroop, and then on to Fish Point prior to entering the river at Swan Hill.
Max, why is so much water pouring into this one area?
Well, we're actually in a real floodplain. Most of the time it doesn't operate with that great ferocity as a floodplain as it does. But when you saw the other day, when you talk of a place like Serpentine, which you would have heard about, we basically had about 40 plus kilometres of water running across to the Bendigo Creek, which comes out of the centre of Bendigo in that area, and they suddenly all joined up. So if you're asking one section of water in that whole stream at that time, it would know where it's come from, but it's got to all go past Kerang and round the back of Kerang to the river.
Now, we've heard much about the flood levee around Kerang, and the SES has reportedly said it is holding at the moment. What's the latest in regard to that, and just how much hope and faith are the folks putting in that levee?
Well, I've been part of the MERC, the Emergency Centre operation for the last 2 days until it was inappropriate to go in this morning. Biggest battle we had at the up front end, and it's still a battle, is to maintain the power station, or the sub-service station, which transmits power to much of northern Victoria. And we've been able to keep that fairly secure, not without a lot of diligent help, and you could not do it without community support and volunteers to sandbag and all those things that took place, and some very good skills that come with that. So that's been the next thing that's happened, of course, is that the Kerang levees were built for a 100-year experience, which is, quite unusual in a lot of cases, but that's what they were built for. But when they suddenly started to leak a little bit last night, we had to err on the side of caution, and that's why people were asked to evacuate. Now, not everybody's done that, because they said, well, no, I'll stand here until such time as it does breach. We're a little bit confident this afternoon on my latest report that they're likely to hold, but the dilemma in this part of the world compared to many other floods around is that the peak will stop here for a much longer period. Instead of 2 or 48 hours, it could be 5 days plus.
So in light of that, Max, how much time and how much help will you need with repair and recovery, not just of properties, but also of infrastructure?
Well, yes, we really haven't thought about it, but we're going to need a lot of time and help. I am absolutely confident the community, the one which I've lived in all of my life, apart from short time, will just rise to the occasion. But that'll come, if they're going to bear all that cost in their own, well, then that'll nearly virtually break the community. So the support of our state and federal governments becomes critical. But we're really concentrating on people's welfare and their security, and to keep their mental and physical health in good shape, because if that's in good shape, you can climb mountains again. But if you lose that, all the help in the world won't do too much.
As a community member, and from your experience, just how astounded are you by what you're seeing happening there?
Yeah, having lived here, I was born in Pyramid Hill, and I'm still astounded to see that flooded the way it is. So I've been in this community all my life. Until you physically go and confront it, and you would have seen so much in the job you're currently doing, but if you saw some of it firsthand, as some of your reporters did last night, it just really rocks you. It looks so awesome, but it's really quite a disaster you're looking at, and that's the magnitude of nature. It delivers all sorts of outcomes to us all. But we've suffered 15 years of drought. We've got through that and survived that, so we'll pick ourselves up from this experience and hope that there's 2 or 3 normal years in front, and we'll make hay while the sun shines if that occurs.
Max Fehring of Gannawarra Shire, I wish you and your community well, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.